Hi, everybody. I'm Pratibha Agarwal. I'm an immigration attorney, and I have a great topic for us today. So, the question that I get from many of my clients, and actually many people don't even know about this, and sometimes it's even attorneys that might not be as familiar with this process. So, the question is, can I get a green card without my spouse? So this is specifically for people that are married to either a US citizen or a green card holder, and their spouses may be refusing to help them apply for a green card, or there's problems in the marriage such that the person is not able to feel comfortable asking their spouse, or maybe they've asked and it's kind of made the marriage go south. We talked about that a little bit yesterday. But this question is specifically for people that are married to US citizens or green card holders that don't yet have a green card, and they're wondering, is it possible for me to apply for a green card without involving my spouse? Right? And the answer is yes. Yes, it is possible to apply for a green card without your spouse. So if you're married to a US citizen or a green card holder, it is possible to apply for that green card without your spouse. You certainly have to qualify. So if you are in the situation where your spouse is refusing to help you apply, if you've been married, it doesn't even matter really how long you've been married, but there's problems, you might not be living together anymore, you might still be eligible to apply without your spouse. Give us a call for a consultation. My name is Pratibha Agarwal. I'm an immigration attorney. I can help you no matter where in the US you are located. And you can call us at 703-348-1663. Again, that's 703-348-1663. Again, I'm Pratibha Agarwal. I'm an immigration attorney. Our firm practices only immigration law. We do not do anything other than immigration law. So if you want to find out if you're married to a U.S. citizen or a green card holder, or you know someone that might be married to a U.S. citizen or a green card holder that doesn't have their green card, no matter what their situation is, we may be able to help them apply for a green card. They might be eligible. Certainly give us a call. We're at 703-348-1663. And we actually can help people no matter where they're located. So what we're doing, we have a question here. Hi, guys on TikTok. Hi, friends on Facebook. We have Marhana from TikTok. Hi, thank you for joining. She says, can you help me in Fresno, California, ma'am? Absolutely, we can help you in Fresno, California. We have clients in Alaska, Hawaii. We are located right outside of Washington, D.C. in Arlington, Virginia. We actually have many clients in California also. No matter where you are located, our consultation can be done by phone or by Zoom based on your preference. So you can give us a call. You can let us know how you would prefer to conduct the consultation. My preference, if you're wondering, is by Zoom, because I like to show you documents. I can share my screen with you. Of course, it's as close to face as possible. So either way, whatever your preference is, I can do by phone or by Zoom if you're not located here in DC. If you are located here in the DC area, I would love to meet with you in person. You can come to the office. I'm vaccinated now. If you haven't gotten vaccinated, go get vaccinated. But I'm vaccinated. I'm happy to meet with you in person. We still follow COVID protocols in the office. So, if you aren't yet vaccinated or can't for some reason get vaccinated, we can certainly help you with that. Okay, so feel free to give us a call. We're at 703-348-1663. And if you want to put your questions into TikTok or on Facebook, go ahead and put them in, and I'd be happy to answer them. So we handle all types of immigration law. So right now, I just started off talking about a humanitarian option for people that are married to U.S. citizens or green card holders, and what their options are if their marriage is not working out, if they're having problems with their spouse, they may be able to apply on their own. That is part of our humanitarian slew of cases. However, we also handle business immigration. We handle family-based immigration as well. If we can help you with your immigration matters, feel free to give us a call. Again, my name is Pratibha Agarwal. I'm happy to schedule a consultation for you by phone or by Zoom. We're at 703-348-1663. If you want to type your questions in here, obviously that's not privileged information. It's just general legal information. To create a client relationship, you'll have to schedule a consult, but I'm happy to answer whatever I know based on my experience as an immigration attorney, and I'm happy to help you with your immigration questions. So feel free to ask that one-off question here. Hi, Rick. Hi, Marhana. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining us. Say hello if you're just joining me. I'm going to start off with some questions that pop up in our practice and how we handle them. All right. So there are situations, right? So some of our clients come to us and they say they're either married to a U.S. citizen or a green card holder, or they have a child who is 21 or over and a U.S. citizen. So there's two different situations. They either are married to a U.S. citizen or a green card holder, or they have a child who's 21 or over and a U.S. citizen. So they have consulted, say some of these people have had an illegal entry. So their question is, why are other lawyers telling me that I need to leave the U.S. to be able to process my green card? Why can't I complete the whole green card process right here in the U.S.? So that is one question. So some people who are married, sorry, I'm adjusting my camera here. Some people who are married to a U.S. citizen or a green card holder, they will qualify, if you're married to a U.S. citizen or green card holder, or you have a child who is 21 or over and a U.S. citizen, right? You might be able to qualify to process that whole green card right here in the U.S. And it is common that some attorneys will not screen for this unless you come with that information. So they will not be able to check you for this, or they just don't, that's not part of their practice to do this. So you may be able to process that whole green card right here in the US if you're married to a US citizen or a green card holder, or if you have a child 21 or over who is a US citizen. And some people do qualify. If you do qualify, you will get a number of benefits. This is if you have an illegal entry, or if you came in and you're out of status, right? And the person is not going to help you obtain that green card. So what you will get in about 6 to 8 months, you will get work authorization. If you qualify, I'm going to put that in there, you'll get work authorization in 6 to 8 months. And you will have a green card in 2 to 2.5 years. And sometimes lawyers do not screen to see if you're eligible for this kind of less used way of processing that full green card right here in the US. So give us a call, schedule a consultation if you're in this situation. You do not need to have that person willing to sponsor you. You don't need income requirements, nothing like that. It is based on problems in your relationship with this other individual. So we'll get into all of the details in the consultation. We'll screen you and see if you are eligible. If you want to give us a call, we're at 703-348-1663. I've got some questions here. Thank you so much for joining, you guys. Let's see. Marhana says, do you guys speak Hindi? Because my English is not good, so I'm going to call you. Marhana, my Hindi is not the best. It's not the best. You're welcome to bring an English translator. We can arrange for you to have a translator at the consultation. So either way, we'll have you covered. So don't let that be the reason why we haven't chatted. But if you speak to me in Hindi and I can speak in English, I've done that many times in a consultation. So I can usually understand your Hindi, but my responses will be in English, or we can arrange for you to have a translator. So either way, again, if you want to call us, it's 703-348-1663. Looking forward to your call. Rahul is saying, hi, ma'am, I took a VD. I haven't left. How are my chances of staying here? Please help me out. Can I take an appointment? Absolutely, Rahul. So Rahul, VD stands for voluntary departure for those of you who are unsure. So Rahul was likely in court and he took a voluntary departure. So Rahul, I would caution you against leaving the country without exploring all of your options. So that might be the best option for you. However, if you have other options, let's say you're married to a U.S. citizen or a green card holder, or you have a child who is 21 or over, or maybe you qualify because you're afraid to return back to your home country for one reason or another, or maybe some other possible way, right? So maybe you've had work experiences that might help you qualify. Maybe you are a victim of a crime, you witnessed a crime and you can help. I mean, there's a whole platter of different options available to people you don't even know until you talk to an immigration attorney. So Rahul, I would caution you against leaving the country if you've been here without authorization for more than 6 months. right? So if you've been in the US without authorization, so maybe you entered illegally, maybe you entered with a tourist visa and it expired, and you've been here now for 6 months, you could trigger a re-entry bar. So what is a re-entry bar, right? So if you've been here without papers for 6 months, so whether you entered illegally or you entered with a tourist visa, which then expired, you have triggered a bar, most likely. And so if you leave the US, you will not be able to re-enter for a minimum of 3 years. So if you've been in the US for 1 year or longer without authorization, again, if you entered illegally, or if you had status and that status expired, and you've been here without authorization for more than a year, you trigger a 10-year bar. So even though Rahul has accepted voluntary departure, meaning that he went to court and he negotiated and decided, I will voluntarily leave, that may trigger a re-entry bar. So Rahul, you should explore your options before you leave, because if you have a way to get status, we can apply for that status and you will not have to leave, and you will not trigger a bar that means you can't enter for a certain amount of time without a waiver and all of these other things. So give us a call if we can help you. We're at 703-348-1663. Marhana is saying, my name is, okay, I will not say that out loud, but call us. We will, I will have my assistant keep an eye out for you. If you want to give us a call, I'd be happy to schedule a consultation with you and explore our options. Okay. Rahul says, I have experience with software developer. Great. Awesome. There may be an option. I don't know until I have an opportunity to talk to you. How are our consultations done, right? What are they? Let me give you some information about that. So our consultations are by phone or by Zoom. Okay, so I prefer Zoom because I can share documents with you. Some people just prefer by phone, and that's okay too. So we do consultations by phone also, just based on your preference. And we go through your entry. We go through the statuses you've held. We go through what your immigration goal might be. So if your immigration goal is to get a green card, we have that. Maybe you just want to extend your stay until it's safe to return to your home country. Obviously, we get a lot of that now because of the pandemic, but we'll be able to walk through different options for you. If there are options, we'll be able to walk through them with you. We walk through the process. We walk through the fees involved, both our fees and the government fees, and anything else that might be there. Right? Sometimes we get a psychological evaluation, fingerprinting fees, so things like that might add up. So we'll go through the entire thing. We go through the full process and the timeline for how long things are going to take. Go through what you might be eligible for. And essentially, help you the best way possible to get status in the U.S. Okay, so we can help you, where you can give us a call, 703-348-1663. Simone is saying, if you marry a green card holder and he sponsors you, is it possible that you have to leave the U.S.? So it depends. So it depends on how you entered. So if you have a spouse, so I'm going to say that question again, just in case you missed it. So she's asking, if I married a green card holder and he sponsored you, do I have to leave the U.S., right, to process that green card? So it depends. So if you entered the U.S. illegally, then you may have to leave to process that green card. If you entered the U.S. legally, meaning with a visa that was yours, that you entered through a valid port of entry, you can usually process that green card right here in the U.S. So that whole process will happen here. You'll get a work permit in about 6 to 8 months, and you'll have a green card usually, if you follow that process, in about 1.5 years. So that's different if your spouse is willing to sponsor you and you've had a legal entry. Okay, so we can certainly help you with that. You get work permit, you get travel authorization. So while the green card application is pending, you can come in and out of the country, assuming you don't have a criminal history, assuming you've never been to immigration court. However, if you've had an illegal entry and you're married to a green card holder, you may still be eligible to process that green card in the US. And this is even if your spouse is unwilling to sponsor you, you may still be eligible to process that full green card right here in the US. Call us for a consultation. What you get is a work permit in about 6 to 8 months, and you get a green card in about 2 to 2.5 years. You can call us for a consultation. We're at 703-348-1663. I hope that is helpful to you, Simone. Hi, Anna. Thank you for joining us. Rahul says, I am an experienced software developer. I don't even know if I read your question. Great, great, awesome. If you might qualify for some employment-based green cards, depending on your experience, you might qualify even to self-petition for your green card. So give us a call and we can walk you through what is helpful. Simone says she has a U.S. visa. So great. So Simone was asking, can my husband, who's a green card holder, sponsor me for a green card? So you should be able to if you've maintained status the whole time. So you should be able to if you maintain status the whole time. But if your visa expired, that's a different process. So give us a call, and we can certainly talk through your options. But there is either way, even if your status is expired, you may still be eligible to apply for and receive a green card. I'm streaming here on both TikTok. If you don't see some of the questions popping up, I'm streaming on both TikTok and on Facebook. So the questions are coming from different places, but feel free to put them in and feel free to essentially, let me know what your question is and call us for a consultation, 703-348-1663. Milika on Facebook, it says, hello. Hi, Melika. Thank you so much for joining. Sunny says, hi. Hi, Sunny. Thanks for joining. I always love seeing you on here. Melika says, can you help me with my situation? Absolutely. Absolutely. So I practice only immigration law. We don't practice anything other than immigration law. We are based right outside of Washington, D.C. in Arlington, Virginia. However, our clients are located all throughout the United States. They are literally from coast to coast, but also internationally. So if you have family, or if some of you are watching from outside of the U.S. and you have questions about U.S. immigration law, we will be able to help you. So feel free to call our office. We're at 703-348-1663. And my name, again, if you didn't catch it, it's Pratibha Agarwal. And I'm located outside of DC, and I practice only U.S. immigration law. Feel free to call us, 703-348-1663. So Melika, yes. And then I should add, in types of immigration law, so some firms only practice certain types of immigration law. Our firm does kind of everything under immigration. So we do business immigration, where maybe your employer, your boss, wants to sponsor you for a green card. We can talk to you about that. An H-1B, some people petition themselves because of their experience and their qualifications. We help with that also. So if we can help you, don't hesitate to reach out to us. Again, our phone number to schedule a consultation is 703-348-1663. Milika says, I came on a visitor visa with my husband. We overstayed. Do we have options to get a green card? You may have options. Absolutely. You may have options. I would suggest you schedule a consultation, and we can work through to see what experiences you've had, because based on some experiences, you might be able to qualify. You might be able to apply for asylum. You might be able to apply for either what's called a U visa or a T visa. Maybe your occupation might help you qualify. So there's different ways to qualify, and having papers, it's something to be really, really grateful for. So if you can be in status in the U.S. and you don't have to worry about getting deported, you don't have to worry about things like opening a bank account or getting a driver's license, it can be really life-changing for so many people. So if there's a way for you to get status, we will certainly look through every option and let you know. Feel free to call us, 703-348-1663. Simone says, yes, please, and thank you. You're welcome. Arpitha says, my green card expired, and I did a renewal process, but still nothing. What updates can I add? So I can tell you that green card renewal process, it takes a really long time. So it just takes a long time. There's nothing to do except wait. there's one thing, but really I would not use it for something like your renewal green card. So the one way is you can always sue the government. If your application is stuck for a really long time, what do I do? That's the question. You can sue the government to make a decision on your application. So there is an option to do that. It's a federal action. It's not going to impact your application at all. It's not going to do anything like that. However, you should certainly consider that if it's been sitting for a long time. But if your green card expired and you're renewing, if you're in that renewal process, it is a long time. There's nothing I can say other than it is kind of a long time. All right. So, I would definitely, not do that. Just wait. We can help you. If you want to give us a call, let me know. We're at 703-348-1663. All right. So I think everyone, hi, Shelly. Nice to see you. Hi, Preeth. Hi, Arpitha. Hi, Tanya. Arpitha says, thank you. You're welcome. Great. I think that we had a pretty good session today, guys. We had a lot of really awesome information. We had some really good questions. I hope that some of you found it helpful. If you have a case, if you have any immigration case that you want to talk to us about, feel free to call us for a consultation. We are at 703-348-1663. Would love to chat more with you either on Zoom or by phone. Just let our client care specialist, his name is Brian, take care of you. Let him know how you would like to do the consultation, and we'll get you on our calendar as soon as possible. So nice to see you. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.